Good morning. We've hit midweek. Hope you're having a great start to your day. I'm your host, Monica Adams, and you're tuned in to the Real Monica Adams Show. Boy, was it hot yesterday. So I was wondering if we would get to 102, which would tie the record, or if we would exceed that. So what do you think? Well, we hit it. 102. That hasn't happened since back in the 1800s. We're talking about 1881. They had to really go back into the record books to look at what the high was back then. Would we hit it? Would we exceed it? Well, we didn't exceed it, but we tied that record yesterday. So yes, if you felt it was ridiculously hot yesterday, well, you were right. Unfortunately, the same applies today. Not as hot, but we're going to talk about the weather, the heat index, and some storms. In fact, it's kind of a mixed bag this morning. Some of you already may have experienced some wet roads. You may have stepped outside, grabbed, a quick walk, and then realized that it was raining. Some of you maybe have experienced that. Others, I look outside, it's dry. I would like the rain. You with me on this? So that our lawns aren't so crunchy and our flowers can get watered by Mother Nature and not by us. We're going to talk about the weather coming up. We've got some news you can use. I'm going to do a little talkers of other things that I want to know. Do you want to know more in-depth information about it? That's what I really want to put it into your hands. A year and a half ago when we started the show, I would sit right here with a notebook and say, tell me the topics you want us to cover. Tell us the guest you would like for us to interview. And at the time, it was via kind of like a Zoom situation. Then we launched our studios, started bringing guests in. So I'd like to know guests, topics, all those things. Let's go back to having you as a part of the team. We had some really amazing one-on-one, or should be one on thousands that watch the show. Your topics, your mind, taking care of your health. I'd like to be able to do that as we sprinkle in our shows on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday when we're not in studio. Okay. And then today we're going to talk about your mental health, taking care of you. I am bringing a guest back that we had on last year, Nicholas Murray from Tampa, Florida, and then Cheyenne Halbert, who's going to join him this time. She's from our area, Sullivan, Missouri. Now, Nicholas started Mind Muscle Pro. He's the founder, the organizer behind it. We're going to get an update from him from a year ago. Where are you now? And some incredible advancements that they have had. If you're looking to take care of your life mentally, physically, spiritually, they're offering free, and I do mean no hidden agenda, free virtual classes for you to work on your physical body, maybe meditation, maybe breathing. There are instructors all over the world that are donating their time, and there's nothing. I mean, that's the thing. People are always thinking it can't really be free. It is absolutely free to you for you to do these classes. And then instructors like myself donating their time so that you can be taken care of. Some people are able to do it on a regular basis. I'd like to drop in and do some maybe once a quarter. If I can do more, I will. But we'll talk about that today. We'll talk about a podcast that they started that's really impacting thousands, and I mean across the world. All of that coming up, and a special surprise of something personally that changed for Nicholas, and I just gotta chill, that I'm so excited about because he didn't see his worth, his value. I always talk about knowing your value. He didn't see it years ago. In fact, tried to take his life when he thought it was so dark and had so many demons that he was leaning in on. All those things has changed. And so today I hope we can save lives and we can give you some hope of showing you just how valued and worthy that you are. All right, before we get into all of that, let's get into this forecast. As I mentioned, crazy hot again today, but nowhere near what we saw yesterday. However, it is a first alert weather day today, actually, and tomorrow. Intense heat. Now, a lower severe risk, however, isolated severe storms today. Our heat index 102 to 104. The heat index, though, continuing to be a problem as we go into tomorrow with a heat index of about 100 to 103. So again, today and tomorrow, intense heat and storms. And that is the big thing that you need to pay attention to. I want you to take care of yourself first and foremost, and then be aware. Be very aware of those around you. Do you need to check on the elderly? Do you need to check on the animals? Please put them out. Make sure they have a lot of water. Bring them back in. If you're going to take them out for a walk, I would say to do it now. It's already warm, but nowhere near what we're going to see today. 95 for the actual high, but it's that heat index that's going to make it feel well over 100. We drop only into the 70s, mid 70s tonight. There's another Cardinal game. Any of you at the game last night? I can't imagine one, being in the stands, and two, playing the game in those uniforms or or the umpire in the padded vest and everything they have. Just my heart goes out to anybody that has to work in this at all. 97, so it actually is warmer tomorrow. 78 for a low. 92, again, a very slight chance of storms on Friday, but we start to get cooler. And then look at that Labor Day weekend. Isn't that amazing? Saturday, some AM showers to the south, 86 for your high, 68 for the low. Sunday, 87. The pick day of the holiday is going to be 81 on Labor Day and 60 for our low. Then Tuesday, the same, 81 for a high. How many of you are already thinking about when do I need to close the pools? I don't want to think about that at all. We'll be talking about just pools in just a second because a lot of people are thinking, hey, do they have end of season sales? They do. We'll talk about that for you in just a moment. But again, that is the weather forecast you need to be very aware of. Take care of yourself. Take care of others, check on the kids. There might be a lot of after school practices and things like that they might be doing early morning. I know a lot of schools have shifted to the practices, maybe even doing two-a-days early in the morning before school starts. And then some issues around other states where they had AC units blowing, had to take the kids and send them home from school because of it. That's the kind of heat we're talking about. Now we're going to get into some news you can use. We talked about all of these accidents in the last month of pedestrians struck and killed on the highways, many of them involving, it's just absolutely crazy. Now we're talking about a pedestrian that was hit and killed by a train this morning. It happened about midnight near Silver and Golding. That's in East Alton. Authorities say a body was found in the area. An Amtrak train was stopped nearby. Authorities still looking into this as it's, again, just happening in the overnight hours. As more information becomes available, I will pass it along to you. But again, a person hit and killed by a train in Alton overnight. This is something many of you probably have attended in the past. Well, you're not going to this year. It has been canceled. Did you go to Q in the Lou? An extremely popular event for so many years, but it is not happening this year. And they're citing money problems for cancellation, while other festivals are drawing thousands to the St. Louis area. However, others are saying it's because of safety. How many of you still say, yeah, I'll go to an event downtown? Or how many of you have the mindset of, no, I have no desire to be down there. There's too much activity that scares me? Well, in downtown St. Louis, visitors stream onto the Arch grounds for the final days of summer. The Festival of Nations, did you go to that? That actually drew tens of thousands of people last weekend. The Blues at the Arch Festival, that saw record-breaking crowds. So see, there are still some festivals that are drawing in those big numbers. In fact, the executive director of the Gateway Arch Park Foundation said we had 15,000 people at Blues at the Arch just a few weekends ago. That was up actually 22% from last year. That's record breaking. The foundation helps put on events like Winterfest. I absolutely love that one. That's at Keener Plaza. They do Sunrise Yoga, Blues at the Arch, the same location where Barbecue Festival Q in the Lou was set to take place. And that was set for September 7th and 8th. And according to this executive director, he said events downtown are successful. People want to be here when you're putting on good quality programming. But a marketing spokesperson for Q in the Lou, Sean Hadley, said despite after other reporting, crime, he says, didn't play a role in their decision to cancel. He's saying low VIP ticket sales and a lack of sponsorships led to their decision. He said the financial situation also meant canceling their Dallas festival set for October. The Gateway Arch Park Foundation is already preparing for their Winterfest. That drew 66,000 people last year to downtown. They said they've been incredibly fortunate to get great sponsorships for all of their events. They've had zero public safety issues at all the events that they have done. But others in the area are saying they are telling a different story. So I'm asking you to weigh in on this. Why do you think it actually was canceled? Because it's just like everything, depending on what network you turn on, you hear this story, and then another network has a headline that is the exact opposite. It's hard in this world for us to understand what to believe anymore. So I think it might be, to me, a little bit of both. Ticket sales down, you got to make money. And so you have to make the decision, do we put it on or we're going to lose money this year? Or is it truly the fact that people are saying that they are nervous to be in the downtown area because of the ongoing problems again with crime. And so there's a lot of city officials that are sharing the disappointment about this. So there's one official with the city that confirmed that the festival had been canceled, but saying that it has nothing to do with crime. Another person came out not wanting to be identified and saying it is because of the crime numbers. And they figure that that is, in fact, why the ticket sales are down. So you tell me. I'm going to look at some comments in just a second, and you can let me know, weigh in and let me know what your thoughts are. All right. How many of you are playing the Mega Million? Well, Mega Million, no winners last night. So that means that it is up for you. You could win for the next drawing, which is coming up on Friday. $625 million is what it's up to now. You can't win if you don't play. You always hear that, right? So good luck to all of you. Mega Millions, all those things, dream big. Ready for some football? I told you I've started incorporating some football news. The Kansas City Chiefs trophy, they'll be on display at the Mizzou football game, which will take place on Thursday. Are you ready for some football? I definitely am. The trophy is going to be on display along the stadium's north concourse, and that's between gates 1 and 2E. So if you're going to the game at Faurot Field, look for it. Fans can take photos with it starting at 5:30 p.m. and throughout the first quarter of the game. Mizzou, by the way, ranked 11th in the Associated Press preseason poll. It's the first time the Missouri Tigers have been ranked in the AP preseason poll since Eli Drinkowitz took over as the head coach. The last time Mizzou was ranked in the preseason poll was 2015, where they ranked 24th. So again, ranking 11th. And if you're going to that game, it's Murray State against Mizzou tomorrow at 7 p.m. Super excited for college football. And then our Cardinals, they were doing so good. And unfortunately, now we're talking about 2 losses in a row. The Cards lost to the Padres. The final score was 7-5. The same 2 teams tonight, as I mentioned, in a very hot stadium at 6:45. That is an update for you on what I think is some news you can use, or some other things that were sprinkled in out there that I'd be interested if anybody says, oh, I saw this. Hey, Monica, can you talk about this? Sure. If you consider it under the umbrella of news you can use, I'd love to squeeze it in there. But when I look through and scour the news in the morning, these are the things that I think you might want to talk about. I do want to say there's not necessarily a photo to go along with this, but remember last night I told you that in the city of Cottleville, they were having a meeting where you could kind of stop in, come and go as you like, just to hear the results of a study that they did in the area, because they're looking at the infrastructure with all of the growth they've had from a business standpoint, from a personal standpoint, all the new housing that's going in, all the new restaurants and the businesses that are saying that they want to open up. Well, they released the results of the study, and people were able to ask questions. The biggest thing they talked about was are they going to put in a parking garage? Are they going to have to add more side? Like we're talking about Highway N and how busy that's gotten, but do they start building some of the other parking spots to some of the side streets to be able to handle that whole overflow? I mean, you think of some of the big events, like they've had the big St. Patrick's Day parade in Cottleville. They've got the food garden that a lot of people are going to, all these new restaurants that are popping up. I'm excited to see it. I love Cottleville, but what they don't want to lose is that old town charm. My husband always calls it Bedford Falls. For all of you that know, It's a Wonderful Life. Definitely has that feel. They don't want to lose that. But they also got to figure something out because people are coming in droves. So the best of luck to them. I don't know if you went to that meeting last night or what you may have pulled from that, but let me know. These are some of the things that we talked about in the news that I just want to pass along to you. And anytime that there needs to be an update, we definitely want to pass that along. All right, let me check really quick before we take our first break. Kelsey, good morning to you. Thank you for moderating along with one of our newest interns, Hannah Ledford. So please welcome her to our team. She's helping out this morning as well. Kathleen Morris, good morning. Julie Purcell, good morning to you. Rose Presley, good morning. Janet Smery, good morning from Kirkwood. Kelsey, thank you for the hashtag on the news you can use. That's something we started. Laura Chapman McCoy, are you new to the show? If so, welcome aboard. Tell me, are you watching? It looks like you're watching from Facebook. I want to let you know that we have multiple platforms that we continue to grow because you all say, hey, can you also be on this one? Because my family and friends don't want to be on Facebook. Yes, Facebook, YouTube. We are also right now live on X, Rumble, and Instagram. So watch where you want to. Let us know where you're watching from, and I'll bounce around to the platforms and make sure that you're all heard. Food events, Laura says, are extremely expensive with cost soaring right now. Yeah, very good point, Laura. Has to do with what grocery prices, and we're talking about shipping aspects. All of that definitely play into it. Julie Fabian, I don't like to be downtown, she says. I was a victim of crime and I'm still a bit leery. Kelsey said, Kansas City Chiefs, go. STL Cards, go to you as well. Jenny, I agree with Jim. Stephanie says, good morning. Laura, I've been watching for a while. I just haven't chimed in. Well, I love that you have chimed in. I love to incorporate talking with, this is the part that we do that reminds me of my radio days, right? You know, don't necessarily call into the radio station, but you are heard by putting your comments and your questions out there. I do actually have an opportunity when people may feel so passionate about a topic I have, there is a way for me to invite a guest on with me when we're live. And I would just send that to my moderating team. They would get it to you. So if anybody ever feels, I would love to talk with Monica about that, that's a way for me to start incorporating you the way we did in radio, but you'd actually show up. So you got to be camera ready. Or, look, be real. You want to crawl out of bed and say, I want to talk about this? It's something new that we can do as well. Good morning, Jenny says to everyone. Have a great day. Marilyn said, Laura is my neighbor. I love that. Everybody, remember, find your voice, comment, have questions, be heard. That's the biggest thing that I want. I want to tell you real quick before we take a break. I hope to speak with you sometime in October. Well, Laura, I would love that. I know we've been talking about that. We have a big show coming up in just a few weeks that I'd like for you to be at. Have you put this on your calendar yet? I want you to come out and tour the Landing Hub, a really cool boutique hotel. Now, we're going to be here from 4:30 to 6 p.m. I want you to look at it for several reasons. One, you might want to do a fun staycation. Two, you might think of when you're getting together with family, friends, you're holding events. Maybe you've got a baby shower you're doing, a bridal shower. Maybe you've got meetings and conferences. Instead of holding it at just some small room that kind of bores you, come into the Landing Hub. This is just two pictures that we took right as we walked into the door. That bench on the left, although it looks like it would not be comfortable, it is. It's contoured and then it's steel. It's made, it was made, but actually at the Taj Mahal in Vegas, they brought it back from the Taj Mahal. That cool little pilot airplane, that's for the kids. I can guarantee they're going to want to jump into that right away. They may not be able to jump into that, but they can jump in here. Star Wars pods. Are you kidding me? This is where they sleep. This is the Landing Hub in Pacific, Missouri. So many other facets that we'll take you through, we'll enjoy, and we'll talk to Shane and Jennifer, who own the Landing Hub. And then when we wrap up at 6 o'clock, we're going to have a little social hour at their other business, which is right there on the main downtown strip of Pacific, Missouri. So as you listen to the choo-choo of the train, come on over to the cigar hall. Corner is the cigar vault. And this is what it looks like inside. You can come in, have a drink. If you're a cigar smoker or you've always thought, maybe I want to try one, they have such a beautiful place that I'd love for you to see. My husband loves to have a cigar from time to time. So he, of course, was lighting one up right there. We went and visited them, and Julie was taking care of us behind the bar. Really cool place. So that's one of two big shows we have coming up that I'd like to see you at. The Landing Hub. We're going to give away not just some small ideas of baskets and things like that for those of you that show up and those of you that watch. But we've got an idea that is massive, and it's going to top any giveaway that we've done so far. Huge, worth almost $10,000. Blow your mind, right? There's some really cool things. I'm not going to sprinkle in that just yet. I'm just going to tease you with it. But this is one you've got to be at. I will not give that one away to the people watching. You've got to show that, hey, it's important to you to support small businesses. So be there and be the possible winner of this. 4:30 to 6 p.m. Mark it on the calendar right now. Save the date, September 12th. And then a little bit later on in the show, I will tell you about our big 400th show celebration. You can mark it on your calendar, and we'll show you a little bit more about it a little later in the show. It is on October 4th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. We'll be letting you know about the ticket prices. This is kind of taking the place of the gala that we had last year when we raised money for Yuppie Puppies Forever Rescue. This time, we're raising money for something very near and dear to my heart besides animals, and that is our first responders. We'll be giving money away to those organizations that step in when our heroes are killed or injured in the line of duty and can't return to their passion. We're thinking and praying for TJ, Officer Travis Brown, just a couple of weeks ago, injured in Ferguson during those protests. He was knocked to the ground, went into ICU in critical condition. His family, again, very hopeful. I will be continuing to check in with the Ferguson Chief of Police, Troy Doyle, who was on our show, to see how his officer is doing. If he wakes up from that coma, will he be able to return to work? That is our hope and prayer. Continue to show your love and support. That GoFundMe, they're looking to raise $200,000. The last I checked, it was around 160. So we can drop that link in for you so that you can help out. He needs to know that the community has not forgotten about him. Him and every other officer or fireman or paramedic or dispatcher, we want to let them know that what they do, we truly and greatly appreciate. Jenny said, this place, Landing Hub, looks so neat. Can't wait to see it. Would have never have known about this if it wasn't for you. Well, I wouldn't have known about it either if they hadn't showed up at another mobile Monica, which was at Adventure Unknown. Some really cool things came out of that show. And I just want to thank so many that showed up for us there. And also, of course, Scott and Johanna, who own Adventure Unknown. If you haven't been there yet, you need to take a tour and check that one out. That's probably the place that's been waiting there for you that you didn't realize you needed. Mobile Monica, as you see on the screen, live from your location. Let us know. Michelle, good morning, sweetheart. This is the hotel you're looking for, she said. Marilyn, have you been to the Speakeasy in Cottleville? It's not open yet, Marilyn. It is affiliated with several things in that main building. So they've got the Oak Street Inn and Lounge, which is really cool. They've got Pink Willow Cafe right next to it. They've got the rooms that people are staying in, but the Speakeasy is the next part. It's not open yet. I would love, so make this happen, right? Manifest it, make it happen. We would love to do a Wet Your Whistle Wednesday in the Speakeasy when they open up. I hope it's in the fall. Kathy Holden Reed, good morning to you. And boom, we're done with all the comments. So I'm going to take my first quick break. When we come back, we're going to sit down and visit with Nicholas Murray and Cheyenne Halbert from Mind Muscle Pro. And what a cool personal update from last year.
Discover your full potential with a personalized styling experience. Designing, customizing, and transforming the looks of men and women. Revamp your individual style and embrace what makes you, you. That's real confidence.
Well, we were talking about pool season normally wrapping up right around Labor Day. A lot of people will be closing their pools. I'm going to try to push it for a couple of weeks. A lot of times we keep it all the way in towards maybe the first week of October. The only problem with that, as many of you know, is those leaves start to fall. And unfortunately, as they fall into the pool. And that's kind of frustrating to clean up. I get it. So if you haven't put it on the schedule for Just Pools to close your pool, make sure you do so. And if not, then get your winterizing kits. 10% off of those right now and 50% off all those fun pool toys you just saw. They are making room for all of that, transitioning from the pool season to the spa season. Get your hot tub from no one else than our friends who support us. Support those that support us. Just Pools, pool and spa specialists, and start thinking about building your outdoor dream, that beautiful outdoor oasis. Again, you may have a current pool, you want to add on some steps, you want to add on some fun features. I bought those Adirondack chairs. We got kind of the cool two-tone. It's a chocolate brown and a beige. It looks so beautiful. So an indoor or a above ground, indoor, actually that would be cool too. An in-ground or above ground pool from Just Pools. This could be your life. Again, Just Pools, the pool and spa specialist located on the West Outer Road in Arnold. I would love for you to go and check them out. Tell them you heard about them on The Real Monica Adams Show.
$700 for going to
And welcome back. We told you we're going to talk about that whole triangle of life that I always mention to you: mental, physical, spiritual health. And we actually did this with my guest many, many months ago. I always like to do a follow up and say, well, where are they now? A lot of you in television, as viewers, always said, I really would like to know about that story or that person. I wonder what happened to. I'm right there with you. And it's something that I wish we would have done more. Well, they're not doing it, but we are. We're going to be authentic with you. We are real with you. And that's why we named the show The Real Monica Adams for so many reasons. And if today's your first day finding us, welcome. I love having you with us. Remember to spread the word that we are on multiple platforms. You're watching maybe on Facebook, but maybe family and friends don't want to be on Facebook. Tell them we're on YouTube, X, Rumble, Instagram, and where else would you like to see us? Just let us know. The platforms will continue to grow. And then we also, besides the talk show, have a podcast that we drop on Thursday mornings at 8 a.m. And that way you can hear the message without seeing the visual. Sometimes you need that, a component of hearing it a whole nother way. So that's what we're going to do with you today, is ask you to watch this and then listen to the podcast, because it's going to be coming right around the corner. Let me reintroduce one of our guests, because you didn't get a chance to see the other. She was behind the scenes. Mind Muscle Pro. I want you to know all about them. And let me welcome him back, Nicholas Murray. Nice to see you again.
You as well.
And this beautiful woman should have been in front of the camera, but she was behind the scenes doing all the social media. Cheyenne, Halbert, glad to have you in front of the camera finally.
I'm super excited to be here. Thank you.
You're welcome. So you are actually from our area, Washington, Missouri?
Sullivan,
Missouri. Yes, I knew, but you were from our area, but you're not. Tell everybody where you're from.
I live in the Tampa area.
Yeah, he's a Florida boy. So he is now back with us, and we're doing some follow-ups. I love the smiles that the two of you bring, and I can't wait to tell a story that has played out since we saw him. But for people, Nicholas, that didn't get a chance to see your story last time, tell them, we're going to talk a lot about the journey, but tell them about Mind Muscle Pro and where this idea came from.
We're a nonprofit organization, and we've existed for about 5 years now. We've been a nonprofit for 2, but I had some really dark years as a teenager and young adult. I had pretty severe depression, several suicide attempts, and just feeling lost and like I had no answers. And I found my answer by lifting weights, and it was kind of by accident. And that's what we do now with Mind Muscle Pro, is we find, the answer for people, and it can be in a lot of different ways: music, art, yoga, meditation, fitness, like myself. And it's just kind of blossomed into this beautiful, community that we've created and been so blessed to be a part of.
Look at those pictures. We're going to be dropping in tons of pictures throughout this show of how this has grown exponentially since the idea of 5 years ago. You've got a podcast now. You've got trainers and people from all over the world truly have built a community. But Nicholas and Cheyenne, that's a true testament to who you are, that people are wanting to be a part of this. How proud does that make you feel?
It's incredible. I mean, we literally just ask God to connect us with the right people, and I get so happy and emotional thinking about this, because that's how I met you and everybody else that we're connecting with all over the country, all over the world. We just are trying to put some good energy out into the world and let God guide us, and that's what's happened. It's been remarkable. That's all I could say. I'm just feel incredibly blessed that we have been, lucky enough to meet you and all these other people.
I always say, and I think we both do it. Thank you, by the way, for being so raw and being so real, because this is what saves lives. This is what really catapults people forward. I mean, you can go back to your darkness, the root of where it came from, why you didn't think that you were worthy to live and walk on this earth. There are many people watching you right now, Nicholas and Cheyenne, that are in that same place that you were. And that's who we're trying to reach. We're trying to reach the support groups around. Please always know that there are people to make that phone call to. 988 is a number we've given you so many times, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. It is the lifeline. You need to just reach out and say that someone can be there. A veterans crisis line. Dial 988, then press 1. Oh, I just got chills, because I truly believe the work that we are doing together, Nicholas and Cheyenne, is saving, even if it's just one life. It's another life that is valued, has purpose, a purpose-driven life. You just said something about God, and I hope that you've all heard, let go and let God. It's a powerful statement. Let go and let God take you. He'll lay the path before you. Sometimes you have to stop fighting yourself from walking the path. How many times do you feel that you did that, Nicholas?
Countless. I mean, it really, I love that expression too, let go and let God, because that's also how we became a couple. It really is.
He broke the news.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was I not supposed to?
No, I want you to. Let me just reintroduce, by the way, real quick. Nicholas Murray, Cheyenne Halbert. There's the breaking news, by the way. When they were in here last time and I met you, and it's so beautiful to know you, to talk to each other socially. We need to do so much more together. So we're letting God. I can't wait to see what we all can continue to do. But when I first met him, I could tell your nerves. I could tell the darkness that you had come from. You sat down in the beginning, and then I just said, let God help you connect with him. And we did. And it was such a beautiful interview. But I just kept seeing Cheyenne in the corner, as my team does, and they're taking everything. And I was like, why aren't these two together? I wanted to play matchmaker so bad with you two. And then I see the picture on the boat of you two kissing. Hello, look at that. It's straight out of a magazine. Hello, Cosmo. I mean, just so gorgeous. I screamed and cried at the same. I didn't tell you this. Aww. And I went, they're not couple. So let's talk. Let's let Cheyenne talk a little bit here. How did this finally happen for you two?
Oh my gosh. So neither of us were expecting it at all. And you talk about, breaking point and your lowest point. And I was with my ex for 15 years, and we were high school sweethearts, and it ended in divorce. And luckily we have a very healthy co-parenting relationship. So I'm very grateful for that. But I didn't have my kids 50% of the time overnight. And I have 3 little boys. And so I went from losing my identity as a wife and as a mother overnight. And I was like lost with myself. So it was just me and God, on my bathroom floor many nights, just listening to music really loud. And just like, where do I go from here? What do I do? And after several months, I have a background in nonprofit management. And I was still just trying to find outside of work, what is my purpose here? And so I don't have my kids for a week at a time. So I would work and then I'm doing nothing. And so eventually my sister was like, hey, my coworker, my previous coworker, Nicholas, has a mental health nonprofit. And I was like, oh, that's great, but he's in Florida. Like, I don't even want to, I'm in Missouri. Mm-hmm. And so anyway, I went to a marketing conference for my job, and something, God just said, message Nicholas. And I eventually was like, okay, I will. Like, calm down.
I hear you, God. I hear you.
Yes. And so I sent him a couple-minute voice clip, which I never do. And I just said, hey, I went to this conference. Like, this is who I am, And anyway, he was like, oh, that's great. I'd love to hire you whenever we have some funding. And I was like, I don't need funding. I just need something to do. Please, like, I'll do your emails. I'll help with social media. Like, what do you need help with? And so eventually that picture that you had shown about becoming a nonprofit, I was able to be there, and we had just, talked a couple months before that. And so anyway, it's been really beautiful what's happened since then.
Well, absolutely. And look, it just keeps growing and growing, but you come on. So Nicholas, if I feel this, and I always ask God for the right questions and the right comments and the right way to change. Today, my word, I pick a word of the day. Every day I wake up, intention, and then gratitude in the evening. Today, my word was heal. Whatever we're going to do together today, let's heal. And so what I want to know is, when did you go from feeling wounded to thinking you were worthy of her?
I mean, honestly, Monica, I was in a long-term relationship before her, and it became toxic, and I don't even have anything bad to say about the person, but we became very toxic to each other.
Remember you telling me that.
And it made me feel, very much that I was unworthy of love, and I started having self-esteem issues. And the cool thing is that initially I think a lot of people do this when you're feeling like, hurt from a relationship. You want to fill that and you want to numb that. And I got on dating apps, and it was a nightmare. I went on some dates. It felt empty, and it felt,
just going through the motions.
Yeah, like there's no connection here, and and it made me feel guilty too, because I'm trying to band-aid a wound with someone else who very well could be ready for love and dating. And so I resigned myself to, I prayed about it, and Mind Muscle Pro became my life. And I said, you know what, I don't need to date. I need to connect with my purpose. And honestly, when she reached out, I'll be honest about this, there was no part of my mind that was interested in dating. I knew her sister was trying to play matchmaker.
Oh,
I could tell in the message. She's like, hey, my sister. And I'm like, you know how many people reach out to me and like, I know the perfect girl for you.
Yep.
I had no intention I didn't want to date at that point, because I got through that part where you're feeling really hurt, and then you feel good, and then you're like, you know what, I don't even want to do any of this anymore. Like, I'm done. And I vividly remember her voice clip of just being genuinely sweet. She's one of those people that you meet her and you can feel that energy. But there was still no, I didn't think of it at all as a potential, I'm going to fall in love with this woman. And literally it happened organically. We just connected in purpose, and we were both really trying to just do something for other people and do something we really believed in.
If you're just tuning in, I want you to be seeing yourself in the story. I say this a lot. You'll hear their story play out, and are you at home shaking your head saying, I feel the way Nicholas does. I was in a toxic relationship. I don't have hope or belief that the right person is out there for me. I'm just going to completely say I'm cut off, and it's never going to happen for me. How many of you don't see your value, don't see your purpose, don't say that you're worthy of this? You got to heal. And when it's time, and it'll happen. I just love, you two are just so adorable. But I saw it here, so I want to know how long it took. We'll take a break real quick. And then we're going to get into all of these wonderful instructors that have come forward that are teaching these virtual classes, how you can get involved, how you can find their podcast. We'll have all of that for you, dropping in the moderation of how you can click on and be listening to them. I'm just so proud of you. I get chills. I'm just so excited to see this walk that's taking place. Nicholas Murray, Cheyenne Halbert. More with them on The Real Monica Adams Show when we return.
I'm excited to announce my all-new mattress topper. In the times we're in, I wanted to bring you the best affordable mattress topper ever. So I took my two best technologies and combined them to make the ultimate mattress topper. And now you can get it for as low as $69.98. Queen size only $99.98. It all starts with my famous MyPillow foam that provides you that overall full body support. Second is the individual comfort supports that give you an amazing custom sleep experience. It's like it's made specifically for you. The queen size alone has over 14,000 comfort supports. This is the perfect mattress topper to improve any bed. New bed, old bed, your guest beds. Get them for every bedroom in your house. Go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get the all-new My Mattress Topper for as low as $69.98. Queen size only $99.98. Don't delay, order today.
And welcome back. Once again, if you're just tuning in, The Real Monica Adams Show, thanks for finding us, or thank someone who told you to watch this show and that it would change your life. And I hope that happens. Drop your comments in and tell us what this show means to you. And then when you find their podcast, tell us what that has meant to you. They've come a long way, and they're not stopping anytime soon. Nicholas Murray and Cheyenne Halbert with Mind Muscle Pro. We've told you a little bit about what they're doing, what their mission is to help the mental health side, to help the physical side, to help the spiritual side. Look at that beautiful logo. And I love the fact that our colors match, right? You walked in here last time, Nicholas, and you're like, oh blue. And I was like, yes, it's the same blue too. It's that gorgeous cobalt blue. Okay, so your story playing out from the moment you send that message to him, you start to work together. When do you start to know there's something else here, but I don't know if he's ready, but I think I am? How does that all happen?
I knew way before he did.
The girls always do.
Yes. And it was that picture that you saw, that group picture. And there was a lot of people, but I felt better when he was by me. He didn't have to say anything, didn't have to talk, nothing. And he would be in the other part of the room and I'd feel a lot of anxiety. But whenever he would come in my direction, I just felt better. And so it was that day that we took that picture that I was like, But I was in no place at all.
How long is that? How long in that picture though? How long had you been with him?
I mean, that was my first time.
That was your first time?
Seeing him.
Okay.
Yeah, meeting him. And so I was still going through so much freshly, like from my divorce and everything. So we do not have an anniversary date because we have no idea. We have no
celebrate
idea.
Life every day.
We
with
do.
him and her.
Because it did evolve organically. We just were. We didn't have this, hey, you want to be my girlfriend, you know.
It just happened.
Yeah, we really
When
have
you
no
came
idea.
here, how long had you been working with him?
Let's see, about 8 months. 8 months.
Maybe, yeah.
But then that picture on the boat, was that the official to the world?
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And that was how long from meeting?
About a year. Almost
About a year. So was there anything happening here that I didn't know about behind the scenes?
I
Did
mean,
you
we
not
had-
tell me, Nicholas?
I think I'm trying to think. That was about a year ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think. I mean, I had feelings for her. I
Good.
remember Arizona. That was before this.
April. Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah,
sounds like a
that
song that
was-
needs to be written. I remember Arizona.
He does tell me when he saw me on top of the mountain in Arizona that
Well,
he knew.
it just was it again organic, and I think if I would have one piece of advice to give to people who were feeling like I haven't met my person, it really is to connect with something, you know, with yourself first of all, and feel good about yourself and find something you're passionate about. And it doesn't have to be a mental health awareness nonprofit. It can be fitness, it can be helping others, and you know, there's so many different ways. But connect with that, and then God will open a door to the other things. And that's, you know, I had wrote off dating, like I said, and this was it was perfect. It was just I couldn't ask for a better partner in life. When she says that I, you know, ease her anxiety and calm her down, I'm a crazy person, Monica. I'm all over the place. I work a lot. I work on my off hours. I don't have much downtime, and it's hard for me to shut down. And she brings so much calm. So does this room, by the way. Right when we walked in here, I was like, it's so zen in Monica's studio. It's like...
If you're just tuning in, what we are doing right now, and again, I just love, and this is what, again, I never try to push God on you. This is our faith. Whatever it is, you have to understand that there's something that guides you, someone, a being that guides you. Lean in on that and let this play out for you, because he would look back at the demons that existed in his past, the thought that he didn't deserve to be on this earth anymore. And if he would have been able to have that crystal ball to see this play out, he would have known, don't do it. So that's what we're trying to ask you today. This is possible for you. A beautiful friendship that I have with Brock and Brittany Wilson, who I still need to introduce you to. Brock sat in this chair, said the exact same things, tried to take his life on multiple occasions. Now he's married, has this incredible gym, just had a baby girl, all of this, and he starts to cry again going, I just never thought I was worthy of this. And I get head to toe chills of another life saved. And that's truly why I walked away from television. That didn't serve people. Me reporting the news. Yes, there were services we provided. Doing the traffic, I think, was good for you. Entertainment news, sure, what's going on in the world, but that's not real life. This is real life. These are the things what we wake up with, what happens throughout our day. We close our eyes, we do it again, reset. Is it better the next day? We hope it is. And you're doing that on a daily basis with the help of the community, though. So Cheyenne, talk to us about these virtual classes, which you really were just kind of starting, Nicholas, in the beginning of it, and now it's just exploded.
We were trying.
Yeah. It's really exciting and beautiful because these are people from all over the country who said, I'm in. And so we have people offering breath work or life coaching, yoga. I did dance fitness. I'm now offering a single mom support peer group. And then, he's offering diet strategy for people who just want to kind of reset there. And we have somebody offering a first responder peer support group. And so it's just a community from all over the world saying, you are not alone. And it's free. It's no cost. So it's available for anyone who needs to find that community.
And so how does it all work? So how do they get involved in it? Is there like a calendar that shows them what kind of classes?
Yeah. So if you go to mindmusclepro.com and select classes, you're going to see all of our scheduled ones on the site. And they're all different times, different time zones. And at the top, you can toggle back and forth between Central Time, Eastern Time, or we have someone in Australia who even signed up because our Instagram community is pretty vast as well.
And you're looking at some of this right now of how you can go to the site, and there's, again, an idea of some of the classes that are offered. Do you feel that there's anything missing there's another one, in the virtual classes that are being offered? If you are reaching out right now to people who are instructors that are saying, well, I want to help out, I want to make a difference, what would be missing that you're not offering right now?
Honestly, more.
But more in what realm?
Any.
Okay.
Yeah.
What can I do for you?
I would say, because people say, oh, well, I offer yoga, but there's already a yoga class, or I offer breath work and there's already a breath work class. That's okay, because we have people who don't have the same schedules as we do. So we have...
And everybody teaches in a different way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you'll connect with an instructor in a different way, right?
Exactly. And so we want to offer as many as we can, because we have a lot of connections in England. We have connections in, like I said, Australia. And so we want to say, hey, his dream initially, and mine as well, was that we have this full calendar 24/7 that anyone who's struggling can pop in a class and not feel alone.
So if I'm talking to people in Australia, do I have to speak Australian like, hey, get a Vegemite sandwich after you do this workout with me?
Well, that was fantastic.
That was great. I mean, that's the goal, though, is to build this to where anytime you're feeling a little lost, 24 hours a day. And we believe in the potential of that. We have people that reach out from all over, across the sea, from West Coast, East Coast. And if we fill in all these times, there's always a time where you can get on and, do free personal training, free yoga, free meditation. Guided meditation classes that we've done are incredible. It's anybody, and it's also an amazing way for people to promote their online business. It's a free way to get out there and show people this is what we do, and
Look at those guns.
Yeah, they're needing a little work right now. Currently, they're a little smaller than that. I look tiny next to Rob.
Well,
Man.
he's got like 25-inch python.
He just went through a really tough surgery, and he's doing better now. But he's such a sweet guy.
How many instructors do you have?
Currently 10 that are pretty active, and we have a couple on the way as well.
And us as well.
And us as well. And so basically, we have somebody who's offering, how to make jewelry or how to write songs. And so it doesn't have to be somebody who's looking for the physical, but the mental too.
Music as well.
Yeah.
Well, music is such a calming source.
Yeah. Or
how long are the classes?
Yeah. They range from 30 minutes to an hour.
And how many people are joining these?
Yeah. It's all different, kind of like currently, a handful to a few dozen. And so it's just like we're constantly growing, and we do it through Zoom, and you can have up to 100 participants in Zoom.
I think that the biggest issue we're having is people think there's a catch. Like we're saying, it's all absolutely free, and we tell people like there's no credit card, there's no anything. You literally just click on the site, you get a link to the Zoom, and you're in. There's no catch. So we also really are trying to promote that and let people know that this is a community that we're a bunch of volunteers essentially, and we care about other people. There's no hidden agenda. Exactly.
So Nicholas and Cheyenne, you have to understand why. There aren't a lot of real people in this world. Everyone is saturating social media. You're scrolling along, you get excited, you have hope, and you're waiting for to sign up for the master class and give us thousands and thousands of dollars. That's what they're waiting for. That is not the case. I fell in love with what they were doing a year ago. Then, of course, saw this journey of their personal relationship play out. I've been watching and liking and loving and commenting on everything they're doing, starting to see see the connection of how our communities are starting to blend together. I see you like Russell Butler, Dancing UPS Man's thing. He was just on with us
He's
a couple
awesome.
weeks ago, isn't he?
We're going to Texas next month to meet
To see
him.
him.
Good.
He reached out to us, and I'm like, I told him, I was like, I love that we connected with you, and it connects us with all these different people. We have so many people we want to send to you too, because there's
Please do.
there's
That's
so
how
many
we
people
change.
that I'm like, it would be great for Monica.
When are you going to Texas?
First weekend of October.
Is that one?
Because he and I are one. Well, we actually, and I think we all
Come
need
to
do
Texas
this. Yeah,
with
well,
us.
that's what. Give me the date because he's like,
Okay.
we got to meet in person. I've got a jacket he wants me to that I need to send to him. I need to get you guys clothes also that says know your value, so that we always know that. But the thing is, I said, Russell, I believe you and I met for a greater purpose. Look at all this following you have. Look at all the following you have. The following you have. Let's just put this together. Let's stand on stages and shout to the masses of how important your life is. That's what changes lives. That's what's happening here. All right, we're going to take another quick break. Nicholas Murray, Cheyenne Halbert, we're going to talk more about the podcast side, how you can hear that, see that, be a part of this community that just keeps growing and growing. And I don't want you leaving St. Louis until you tell me what kind of class you would like for me to teach, because I want to be there for you.
Okay.
I want to be a part of this. My team behind the scenes might say, oh, here she goes. There's no more time left in her life. Nicholas, you and I are the same. Wake up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning and go. But to me, I mean, we've all heard my story before. I believe God saved my life when I was 19, and I just say, I gotcha. What do you need me to do? Whatever you need me to do, I'm there for you. We'll be back.
Discover your full potential with a personalized styling experience. Designing, customizing, and transforming the looks of men and women. Revamp your individual style and embrace what makes you, you. That's real confidence.
Makeover, and I'm just in sweatpants all the time now. I mean, unless I'm at work.
All right, so welcome back. We're just talking real in the studio, and he's saying that he needs to come in and have me do some work for him. I am. I'm going to make a little blue suit for him.
I need it.
Don't you want to jump in that pool? Just Pools are a big part of our show, the pool and spa specialist. Just Pools can build that in your own backyard. That can be your dream. Maybe you have one already and you're like, what in the world is wrong with my pool? Why doesn't it look like that? It's because you're not doing the chemicals right. It truly is a science. It's like you're working in a chemistry lab. The whole aspect of having the right pH and the alkalinity, knowing the right shock, they can help you with all of that. Right now, by the way, a lot of people, unfortunately, are talking about having to close the pools because we are right around the corner from fall and winter. So if you haven't signed up for them to close the pool, then at least get the 10% off of the winterizing kits that they have right now for you. And by the way, I would say stock up right now on all those fun toys, the loungers, all of that. The hot tub season is now in play. Those big noodles I just bought, by the way, I love those things. 50% off. So instead of waiting until next year and then buying them for full retail price, go ahead and get the discount and then start thinking about putting one of those in your backyard. I love that one right there on the left. I think somebody bought it already. That had my name all over it, darn it. Just Pools, pool and spa specialist, again on the West Outer Road in Arnold, 636-464-7110. Welcome back. Again, it is the Real Monica Adams Show. Nicholas Murray, Cheyenne Halbert. We've been talking about Mind Muscle Pro. We'll put that website up on the screen for you again so you can find out more about the wonderful work that they're doing. And then there's Nicholas's email address. If you've got an idea for him, maybe you are an instructor or you want to volunteer. Before we get into the podcast, let's talk about the volunteer role and then something about a cat and human resource. What the heck is that all about? Who wants to take that one?
Go ahead.
What, when we started the nonprofit,
What is that?
His cat.
we didn't know
What did you do
anything
to
when
Oliver?
we started a nonprofit. Like we didn't know how we were supposed to do board of directors and all that. And we realized that we can create whatever we want. And somebody said, well, do you have a human resources person? And I said, we don't really have a need for that, but I don't think. But so anyway, he ended up on the website, and It's so funny that somebody in your staff noticed.
But
I
hold
forgot
on.
about it.
Who
that it
cut
was on
his
there.
hair, and why does he have? Who did that
He's
to
a
him?
lion, Monica.
He's a lion.
He's a fierce
Roar.
lion.
Oliver's here.
He's so tiny too. He's
Okay.
a very bougie cat that I inherited.
Yes, bougie, fancy. I love Oliver. Right, Oliver, thanks for being the human resource supervisor. Okay, volunteers. So how can people volunteer, and what would the role be that they're playing?
So we're pretty picky.
Oh, good.
Like there is, yes, because for that reason that you said previously, we don't want people coming on here saying, hey, make sure you sign up for this, so we want it to be very genuine. And so we do have a vetting process. And so if you're interested, personally message me or Nicholas on Instagram at MindMusclePro, or you can send me an email, cheyenne.mmp@gmail.com. And we would love to chat to see about the potential for that.
Perfect. I love that. And you should be picky. You should be selective. It's your brand that they're representing.
Yeah, and it is difficult because basically when you become a volunteer for us, we promote you as individuals. But in those classes, these classes are not about selling something. They're not about trying to get people to get into your program. This is volunteering out of the goodness of your heart. That being said, we do promote these people on our page because they're awesome, and we want people to connect with them and whatever they do. And some of them have businesses, and some of them are just sweet people that want to be sweet. But well, they all are, really. They're just all people that are. But we make sure that people are connecting with us for the right reasons. Like and for the most part, we haven't had any. We've had a couple that were like, well, I want to sell my 5-week, and we're like, well, the wrong place. Good luck, but not.
That's the door down the hall.
Yeah.
but not for this. This is for people that really care and want to lift others.
And by the way, I hope you hear the message in that. I say this a lot, and if you need to hear it again sometimes, God says, say it to them again right now. Evidently, that's what I'm hearing. The more you put it out there from a positivity and an optimism and a hope and an inspiration mindset, that's what you draw to you. The same applies. The more negative and toxic you are, the more that is continued to drawn to your life. So who you surround yourself with, what you put out, what you speak out, watch what you say, by the way. People are always listening, absorbing, little kids like a little sponge. All of that you have to be aware of. But the more you have this, it draws that same energy to you. And then you have such an incredible full bubble that you don't even have room for any of that toxicity to even seep its way into. That's what I think I really, really love. Before we wrap up, podcast, when did it officially launch?
The podcast, I have to say this real quick, though. Everything you're saying, something we always love to say, and an expression I love, we rise by lifting others. And I believe that wholeheartedly. I think that's our purpose, and that's what God wants us to be on this earth for, is to support and lift others. And that, in turn, lifts us. But podcast, the podcast is hosted by two incredible people. Lacey, who's a fitness influencer that's the sweetest soul and has a really remarkable weight loss and depression journey. And now she's just we bring her to everything we can because she's the best. She's like you on camera, where Lacey is the best. And, we've taken her to events, and she runs the show, and we love it because we're not really, she's great at it, but I'm not. And Alex, who is a veteran, a former sheriff's deputy, and the guests that he's interviewing are people that have a background in that, and there's such a need in that world for police, for first responders, for firefighters. And when we brought him on, it was a perfect fit because he's a big-hearted person that, again, just like you're talking about, is part of that community of people that just want to help others, and that energy and that love that they bring. So we've been very blessed to have them. We're on the podcast once in a while too. We have a lot on our plate, so we've been blessed to have them. So we're excited to continue with that. I will say one more thing about the podcast. It's not G-rated. We're having very adult conversations. These aren't, a lot of podcasts in the mental health world are very, people tiptoe a little bit. We are very, very
real,
yeah,
raw.
We're very raw.
Did you say the F word?
I swear there were.
I heard you, and I'm like, it's okay.
My mom
Would you like
was
to say it on this show?
Why did you? No. I actually just got so animated because we were talking about things that were difficult. I felt so embarrassed when we played it. I was like,
don't.
Because I was like, and people are probably like, God, this guy's like a sailor. But, for the most part, there's not a lot of bad language. There will be a little bit, but it's adult themed things that are absolutely conversations that aren't always comfortable, especially when it comes to some of these veterans have been through just enormous police too. I had no idea what police deal with. All I thought about is like arresting people with drugs or pulling over people. They see children in terrible situations. I mean, I could go on and on. They've been through a lot.
You have no idea. And you actually just missed my husband because he was here an hour ago. You would have seen him in the hallway in his gear, and you would have been able to meet in person. By the way, he said, he has the most remarkable voice, Monica. I said, I know. I agree. So he was complimenting you. But you're right. As the wife of an officer, I know what they go through. And so I thank you for what you're doing. I'm so glad that you are tackling those subjects because their mental health needs to be taken care of because they are taking care of us. They run out of the house, run into things you run from. Just as much as you disrespect the police, you need them the very next second. And just remember that. We need to, thank you. You're so sweet, Zach. Thank you. Yes, I love him dearly, and he is a true hero. They all are. The men and the women that put their lives on the line for us in whether it's military, whether it's law enforcement, whether it's fire, paramedics, every single one of those heroes. I hope one day that we get back to the respect that I had for them when I was a little girl and still have for them today. But I do want to bring up something real quick before we wrap up. The fact that someone may use the F word or whatever else, we don't want to berate them. They are passionate. They are not holding back. And we're all raised a different way. Yes, I was a little girl. My mom wouldn't, I almost did it. Mom would have got mad. I'm not going to say the word mom, but understand that sometimes we give, my nephew actually taught me this. He's like, all of you, and he wanted to say us older, you all give too much power to that word. And I thought, okay, but there are respect things. I'm like, okay. The main part is, as a grandchild, don't be saying it in front of your grandma who doesn't want to hear the word. It's called respect that we all have to have for each other. But don't get upset when someone's doing it, and it's the context of it all, I think, is really. I didn't have a problem with it. And when my friend Brock says it on his social media, I'm like, it doesn't offend me because I feel like it fits with the context. Again, you feel however you feel, and maybe you say but they could say something else. It used to be the same thing with like comedians. Well, they would be so much better if they would clean it up. And I'm like, okay, I see. Everybody's got a good viewpoint. But in this particular case, let the rawness come out. We all need to be a little bit more real in life and not tiptoe, like Nicholas said, around things. As we bring it home, Mind Muscle Pro, doing incredible things, and they've only scratched the surface. I can't wait to see where you go. I'm here for you. I will teach a class for you. You have my word. I don't have anything come out of my mouth that I wouldn't do, whatever it may be. There's a lot of things in my brand that I can do for you, from meditation to breathing to personal training. Let's do it. We'll figure it out together, and then you come on to the class. It's free for you. No hidden agenda. MindMusclePro.com. The email address again for Nicholas. Follow them on social. What is your best social platform for them to follow? Is it?
We're Instagram mostly. Okay. We have Facebook too, but at MindMusclePro. I'm sorry. Yeah, Instagram is MindMusclePro.
Are you on TikTok also?
A little, mostly Instagram.
We need Instagram. An intern. Like we.
That's the only reason, Nicholas. That's the only reason why I'm on TikTok is because of my intern.
We're trying to. I mean, honestly, we have 3 people now that do the social medias, and we bounce back and forth. It's a lot.
It
like
is.
It's a world that
interns will save your life. I'm serious.
We just started exploring that recently. We didn't know that we could even do that, and
nor did I. But look, that is way the media, communications, broadcasting, this is where everything is going to. And what they can learn is truly what is going to be taking over organized radio and television. I knew that, which is why I broke away and thought this is where they're going. Trust me, you will be giving them quite a journey for them to walk on, and knowing that this is where they're going. I love you too. Will I be invited to the wedding?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You're awesome, Monica. We love you too.
I love you. Nicholas Murray, Cheyenne Halbert, again with Mind Muscle Pro. Don't go anywhere. We're going to wrap up the show, tell you about two big events I want you to come to. One is on September 12th. One is on October 4th. Two shows when we go mobile and bring this show to you. And by the way, you can have that as a part of your business, your event, your festival. Just reach out to me at info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. We'll tell you more about how you can be involved in those. And then we'll read from Love the Life You Have. We have different books, Jesus Calling, Love the Life You Have, and 100 Days to Freedom. They all hopefully help change your life. Love you both.
We love you too.
Don't go anywhere.
Come on, Monica. Let's go, St. Louis. Turn and burn.
Hello, Miss Monica.
Monica.
This is a good one. Sometimes you spend like 10 years and you don't got one like this.
Hi, Monica.
It's a feast. It's like a 17-course meal. You're just like, you need a minute. With wine. With a wine pairing. And a whiskey pairing.
That is what. Here it is.
I think I just have the most beautiful experience. I saw fireworks.
Thank you, Monica, for making our day.
Well, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that interview. Weren't they a pleasure? They came in town. They couldn't be on with us live, so we recorded that yesterday, obviously in studio. But I'm back here live with you now. Any comments, any aha moments that you heard in the last hour where hopefully it helped you get inspiration and motivation and realize your value? Let us know. They'll be looking at that. I'll pass those comments along to them. I promise to read from our book, Love the Life You Have. And we're going to go actually to number one. We skipped around a little bit. Marilyn gave this to us, one of our wonderful dedicated viewers from the very beginning of the show. And she wanted me to read immediately from number 13, which was Be Kind. Now, I'm going to go back to the beginning. This one's called Enjoy the Ride. Life is like a roller coaster. You can either scream every time there's a bump, or you can throw your hands up and enjoy the ride. That's how I live my life. How about you? That comment, by the way, that I just gave to you is from somebody unknown, but I feel that exact same way. So whoever came up with that, kudos to you. True contentment is different from a feeling of happiness, joy, or tranquility. In fact, true contentment isn't a feeling at all, is it? It's a state of mind that connects to the deeper in your heart sense that everything is okay, a sense beyond your own understanding. Contentment also becomes the lens through which you evaluate your experiences in the world. Life has its ups and downs. We've all experienced that. And if you haven't, trust me, it's coming. But when you're living with a God-focused mindset and a heart of contentment, you don't have to be whipsawed as life's crazy events unfold. Instead, you can move forward with faith and peace of mind, knowing that all of these temporary and external events are in the hands of the eternal sustainer of the universe, who numbers the hairs on your head. True contentment allows you to be okay in the moment, any moment, because you know that whatever happens, whatever challenge life may bring your way, by God's grace, you will come out okay on the other side. How often do you bask in the security of knowing that you will always be okay? In your chaotic world, it's not easy to live with an all the time secure feeling, but it is possible. It just takes practice. And that's number one in this book. The next time we read from Love the Life You Have, 100 Ways to Embrace God's Goodness, we'll read from Choose Contentment. I love that. And I promise to tell you about our 400th show. And if you're not familiar with this business, Circle 6, the farm itself, Circle 6 Acres, 6. Why? It's 6 in the family. They just started within the last couple of months a place called the Watering Hole. Just had their grand opening, and now we want to bring all of you who haven't been there yet to their location, raising money for our heroes, the first responders, and getting you some incredible food, laughing, loving on each other, having some good music, some giveaways. Check it out. Faith, family farming. They connect with me on so many levels. Tiffany and Larry Winkler own the Watering Hole, and our 400 show, if you haven't heard, that is where it's going to be, celebrating 400 shows of changing lives, all because you show up each and every day and you do what we ask you to do, which is to share, like, and follow our live stream that you're seeing at the bottom of our screen. Again, let people know we're on Monday through Friday live for them at 7 a.m., watching on the platform that they want to watch on, Rumble maybe, or Instagram, or X, or YouTube, or Facebook. We're on all of those, and those platforms continue to grow. We have huge ideas for the latter part of this year and into 2025. You tell us, we listen, and we make it happen for you. Where do you want this show to go? Do you want us to bring it to your business? Well, we can do just that. Mobile Monica now, as you see, can be live from your business. We're having a lot of meetings with people that want to do just that, just like that beautiful woman you're seeing on your screen. Tiffany said she fell in love with our show and wanted us to come to the Watering Hole, the meat market as well. This is the backside of the building, and you'll be there in the evening. We'll be there from 5:30 to 7 p.m., gathering there right by the Katy Trail, enjoying some live music. Hopefully the weather cooperates and we can be out on this stage where we were gathering just a couple of weeks ago. It is going to be an absolute blast. Again, mark it on the calendar, save the date, tell your friends, tell your family, start to introduce more people to the show, bring them out to celebrate 400 shows, which is just an incredible feat that I couldn't do without each and every one of you. So October 4th, 5:30 to 7 p.m. At the beginning of the show, I told you about our live show that will be at the Landing Hub. That'll be 4:30 to 6 in Pacific, Missouri. You can find all of these on my website, TheRealMonicaAdams.com. You just click on the calendar of events and you'll have all the information that you need to know. Michelle Harmon always updates those for us. Thank you, Michelle, for everything that you do for our team. Jenny Egan, give her a shout out. She just joined us. She and I have been having a lot of wonderful meetings, bringing more businesses on. And I do want to welcome a new business that starts with us next Wednesday, Elemental Aesthetics. They're located in Creve Coeur. I can't wait to introduce you to Jennifer Warman Bloss. She is the mastermind behind Elemental Aesthetics. She's been an esthetician since early in the 2000s, I think since 2001. We're going to talk about natural beauty and enhancing who you are on a natural level, all the incredible services that they can do. So she's going to be on with us for a long, long time. Thank you and welcome aboard. She will be in my studio. We'll be able to introduce you to her. We're going to start being in the studio a little bit more than just Mondays and Tuesdays. So you'll see her every other Wednesday starting in September. All right. If you would like to have me gush about you, just reach out to me. My team and I will get in touch with you at info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. And before we wrap up, I'll make sure that continues to scroll across the screen so you can reach out to us. I don't care where you are. You know, Nicholas asked me, would I come to Tampa? The answer is yes. If you align with our mission, let's spread it to the world. I'm going to be doing some shows from Mexico in just a few weeks. I'm going to be doing some shows from Italy in November. So yes, the answer is let's spread it around the world. Let me make sure that I have commented with each and every one of you before I wrap up. Marilyn said, I just love this book. I buy them by the dozen like Jesus Calling, and I hand them out. See, she pays the love forward, and I have them both right next to me. Jesus Calling, Sarah Young, Love the Life You Have. You're such a beautiful soul, Marilyn. I love you to death. Thank you for loving it as well, she says. You bet. Yeah, and I want to thank my team, Kelsey Oglesby and Hannah Ledford, for dropping on all the information that you need to know about everything we've talked about today. Janet said, great program. Well, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that. And everyone over on Instagram has been a little quiet today. Oh, there we go. Nicholas is on this morning. Nicholas, I love you. I hope you enjoyed the show today. He just said 400, clapping his hands. Saw Dr. Sarah Jensen signing on to Instagram a little earlier. Kira Anderson, she was on our show in the past, and now isn't this cool? We really love the fact that when we meet people and they get inspired, they start some of their own shows because they want to spread their message. If you've never seen the show we did with Kira Anderson and how her husband unfortunately passed away from cancer, pancreatic cancer. And now she's living this life and trying to find her purpose. And now she's doing a podcast. I love it. So again, such cool things from all the wonderful people that we've met on this show over the last year and a half. Well, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Again, let me wrap up and show you the forecast one more time in case you missed it. It's another hot day in store for you. So please take care of yourself and others around you. Today, 95, but again, it's that heat index, and you could have some storms coming by about 3, 4 o'clock this afternoon. By 9 o'clock, it should all be out of our area, but that heat index up near 105 again, possibly. Tomorrow, 100 to about 105 for the heat index with a high of 97. We still have some sprinkles of showers possible where you live. You might be dry. Others say, nope, I got a downpour. Friday, 92 with some AM storms that are possible, but then look at Labor Day weekend. A lot of events planned for this weekend. We always go to the Greek festival. How about you? We'll start talking about what you want to do Saturday, Sunday, and into the holiday. We will be here, by the way, with you on Monday when it's 81 degrees and absolutely gorgeous. Dr. Sarah Jensen and myself, we will be in studio for you for Medical Monday, and we will be discussing sunburns coming out of summer, going into fall. What is the transition you need to do to take care of your skin? Don't forget, fall weather, winter weather, always put on the sunscreen. A lot of the ladies, I would tell you to look into some moisturizers that have SPF in them, and then maybe have it in your makeup as well. And make sure you take care of the arms, anything that's seen. We'll talk about that with Dr. Sarah Jensen on Monday. I hope you have a beautiful Wednesday. We don't have Wet Your Whistle Wednesday this evening with Chuck Gillentine. We will be back with him in just a couple of weeks. Maybe we'll pop on here and there just to do something special. But if you don't see us, it's because, again, we won't be back with Chuck until I think it's September 11th. So enjoy your day. And remember what I always ask you to do. Get out. Dream big. Don't stay out in the weather too long today. If you are, please remember to hydrate. It's so important. Don't take this lightly. This is when we talk about heat stroke and heat exhaustion. Dangerous temperatures ahead for you, but better days coming, right? There's always light at the end of that dark tunnel. And remember, you play a big part in that. All you have to do, shake somebody's hand, give them a compliment, and show that you have kindness in your heart. God bless you all.